the reading part in the exam. We are going to answer together 4 reading texts and look at their strategies and ways to answer them. Hope you like the lesson.
Our lesson today is a continuation of the mock exam. So this is a mock exam 2 lesson. It's presented by myself and again prepared by Mr. Khalid. Today we are going to look at the reading reading section in the exam. I think, as you know by now, that reading section is composed of 4 reading texts, of course with different purposes and different types. And all of the 4 reading texts, we have 30 questions, okay? So it's not, and be careful that the number of questions are not divided equally among the 4 reading texts, okay? So maybe one in one text you'll find 8 questions, maybe one in another text you'll find 7 questions or 6, something like that, okay? Also, this is an advice. The time allotted for the reading section is 1 hour, okay? So as we said before, as we said earlier, the time of the text or the test as whole is 2 hours and a half. In our previous lesson, we said you try to manage your time. Give 1 hour for the vocabulary, grammar, and parts of speech, 1 hour for the reading section, and half an hour for the writing section. Okay. So this today we are going to. This is our advice: is that you save about 1 hour for the reading section, not more and not less. So this is the first text, or text 1, and as you can see, text 1 is mostly a brochure or a menu, or it's something of that type. And in order to answer such or to deal with such a text, you don't have to read all the brochure, okay? You just need to go through the questions and find the answers from the text. So my advice, and I think most of the teachers' advice, is to try to read the text from the questions, okay? So let's immediately start. Of course, at the beginning, you just look at the text and you'll find the title. So it's Woodside College Open Day. And as you can see, it's in the form of a brochure or an advertisement. So you don't have to look at anything except the title for now, okay? So it's Wood College Open Day. Even if you don't know what is meant by Woodside, you have college after it, then it's normally the name of the college, okay? And open day, it means the first day of the academic year in this college, yeah? So immediately when you find text 1, you go to the questions. This is again the continuation of text 1. So number 1 says, which of the following can only be done in summer? Okay, so again we are going to look at the key question or the key word in the question, which is which of the following. So this is of course all activities can only be done and where in summer. Okay, so we have to look for activities and the word here summer. So in order to answer such a question, you are to go back to the text. You look under the part which says activities or sports or something like that, and you only need to know the things which are going to be done in summer. Okay, so you go through the activities and you look only for the word summer. You scan the text for the word summer. So you have here the first time you see summer only, and what is the activity done is yoga. And then you scan again to find another summer mentioned, which is here also, summer term only. And you have the activity is circus skills training. So you have two things which are done or are going to be done in summer, which is yoga and circus skills training. So let's go back to the question. So is it A, circus skills training and yoga, badminton and the cooking club, table tennis and the art club, basketball and photography? Because you went back to the text, you scanned it very well, you'll find that the first answer is the one which is the correct one. Be careful, it's here circus skills and yoga, okay? So they try to change the arrangement of the words. So it is, the correct answer definitely is A, circus skills training and yoga. Number 2, how many presentations are there in the main hall? Again, there are about 2 keywords here in the question, presentations and main hall. Okay? So again, we go back to the text, and the keyword, the first keyword we are going to look at is presentations, and then I go down to under presentations to look for the main hall. So where is the word main hall? Yeah. How many presentations? Yeah, it's just only one, which is Mrs. Kate White presentation on housing options. Be careful that in room, the first presentation is room B121, which is not the main hall. The second presentation is in room L23, which is again not the main hall. They only ask about the main hall, okay? So then the correct answer is going to be 1 presentation, okay? So until now I answered 2 questions, and both questions were correct. I didn't have to read all the text, okay? Number 3, if you want to eat the cafeteria, again, the key word here in the question is eat, and of course cafeteria, okay? Let's go back to the text, and we're going to look at the word cafeteria, and here of course they would like to test you, okay? Cafeteria has to do with refreshments. It's kind of food you eat. And so, of course, they did not mention here the word cafeteria. You won't find the word cafeteria as there, okay? So, it's refreshments, and you are going to just very quickly skim through to find the time, yeah? So, here it says there will be inexpensive light lunches, sandwiches, soft drinks, tea and coffee available from 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. Please don't bring your own food onto the premises, okay? So we'll go back to the question. If you want to eat, the cafeteria lets you bring your own food, serves food after 10, only serves tea and soft drinks, is open from 1 p.m. for students. So of course, because you read this part, you will know that it only serves food after 10 a.m. So because they said it is going to be open from 10 till 1, okay? So 1 here, D is wrong because it's open until 1 p.m. and not from, okay? So the correct answer is B. Number 4, what does the word we, line 1, the green note, refer to? And of course you have the options. So very quickly you look at the word we in line 1, and it's in the green note, which is there. We are a green campus. Okay, what do we mean by campus? It is the college, of course. Hopefully next year you will be college students, so every day you will go to the campus. So here, we refers to what? The students? Sure, no. The staff? Definitely no. The cafeteria and the library? No. So it's, yes, they are talking about the college itself. So it's Woodside College, okay, which has all the stuff, the place, everything. So again, we answered the questions without reading all of the text. Number 5, Kate White probably, and here you have the keyword Kate White, okay? So you go back to the text, and you just very quickly scan the whole part for the name Kate White, okay? And of course, it will be very easy for you to know the names because, as you know, all names are written in capital letters. So you just go and look for capital letters. You will know the name. So here, Mrs. Kate White. She's what? She's going to give a presentation on housing options. Okay? So let's go back to the question and see what is she going, what is the correct option. So Kate White probably teaches in the science department, works in the cafeteria, sure no, is a librarian, definitely no, and D, helps students find somewhere to live. Be careful that her presentation was about housing options. So housing here means what? Somewhere to live, okay? So Kate White probably helps students find somewhere to live. Number 6, who is the head librarian? Again, so we have here the keyword is head librarian, and sure, we are going to go definitely for the part of the library. And it says here, our library is second to none, okay? And of course, you don't have, again, to read all the part. You'll just have to scan very quickly to find our head librarian, Jenny Owen, and whatever. So we don't care about what happens after that. We are only looking for the head librarian, which is Jenny Owen. Then I go back to the question and very quickly choose A. So again, as we said, we don't have to read the whole text. Number 7, the purpose of the text is to, and of course here, when we have the purpose, it means that it's why do they present us with this text, okay? What is the purpose of this text? So of course, if I have the purpose, why do I have it? It's definitely has something to do with the whole text. There is no place to go and look for the correct answer in the text, okay? So by the end of all the questions which you have answered from 1 till 6, you will definitely know the purpose of the text by the end, okay? So is it to raise money for the new college library, teach people how to save the planet, tell pupils about the sports facilities, or invite students to visit the university? So sure, they didn't mention anything about raising money for the new college, and be careful, they are dealing with the open day of the college. They want students to come and see what they have. So sure, it's D, invite students to visit the university. So this is really the purpose of the text. So now this is the last question in text 1. As you can see, text 1 only had 7 questions. They are not much. And you try, while answering, to finish text 1 as soon as possible, okay? Don't take much time in reading and finding answers for text 1, okay? In the exam, because it's the easiest and it's very easy to find and answer it very quickly. Now let's look at text 2. It's a bit of like essay. In this case, as we have here, you can see, it's a letter because it starts by Hi Hessa and ends by wait to see you again, and so on, and Sarah. Okay, so as you can see, it's a friendly letter. Okay. Again, in order to read such a text, you don't have to read all the letter to understand what's going on. From text 2, 3, and 4, you can find reference questions, you can find meanings of words, which is vocabulary, and it's according to each text. Okay, you can have 2, 3 words or 1 word, as in this case. In order to know or to tackle such texts, you try to know the main idea of the text. And as we said before, in dealing with our reading, when we dealt with in the reading lessons, in order to know the main idea of the text, you try to read the first lines of each paragraph, and by this you'll understand the main idea. Okay. So let's go to the questions. Number 1. What problem did Sarah have with the hotel? So you have here Sarah and the problem, and of course the hotel. So we go back to the text, and we are going to very quickly skim through the text, and you'll find that you have the word the problems from here. Okay, so you just scan through this part of the letter and try to find the problems in the hotel. Okay, you see the first problem was in the airport. We don't care about that. And then the second problem is that the seats were smaller in the plane. Okay, and then there is also another problem of double booking, and they didn't get the sea view room in the hotel. Okay, so from here we start to have the problem in the hotel. Okay, so let's read this part. Then, because of a double booking, we didn't get the sea view room that we thought we had reserved, and instead we have a tiny room overlooking the street. And this is one street that never sleeps. Okay, so again, this is the continuation of the problem. Okay, so let's go back to the question. Now we knew the problem of Sarah only with the hotel. Okay, we don't want to find any other problem. There are lots of other problems. Okay, but we're dealing only with the hotel. So let's go back to the question. So her problem now is A, the food was bad and the bed was uncomfortable. B, she didn't get the view she wanted and the food was bad. The restaurant was closed and the room was noisy. The room was noisy and she didn't get the view she wanted. So of course, in the part which we read, they didn't mention now anything about restaurant or the food or whatever. Okay, they only mentioned that the room was noisy and she didn't have the sea view she wanted, or they wanted as a family. So definitely the correct answer is going to be D. Okay. Number 2. How long has Sarah been on holiday? So here, how long, we are asking for time. And let's go back to the text and try to find out how long she's on holiday. And of course, when we look for how long, we just go quickly and look for time. Okay, it can be number of days, as in this case, or hours, or dates. So you just scan for numbers. Okay, so in this case, it says here after 8 days here. So now, how many days she was on holiday? Let's go back to the question. 2 hours, 1 day, 3 days, 8 days. Sure, it's 8 days. Number 3. What does the word exhausted mean? We go back to the text and you just look at the word. I think all of us are exhausted by now. This is the end of the year and we are all exhausted. So It says, I am exhausted. I really need to sleep for more than 3 hours at a time. So if a person is exhausted and wants to sleep for more than 3 hours, so what is meant by the word exhausted? Sure, it's very tired. So as you can see, the words and their meanings can be very easy. So you don't have to look for words that can be difficult or something like that. Number 4, what does Sarah say is different from her own country? So again here, the question is different from her own country. So let's go back to the text. It's again, we are looking in the first paragraph. I need a good meal. It's very hard finding food that I want to eat here. It's not like our cooking at home, which I'm missing so much. So, what is different? Yeah, sure, it's D, the food. Number 5, what does the word it refer to? And I think this type of question is very easy for all of you. So we are going to look for it. Yeah, that's it. This is the word. And in order to know the word, the reference of or the pronoun referred to what, you just try to read the sentence before it, sentence after it. So it says, I mustn't forget to pack my camera as the views are supposed to be fantastic and it hasn't had much use so far in this boring city. So it here refers to what? Yeah, sure. Camera. Okay? So as you can see, again, text 2 is not so difficult. It's not a problem. And try to be careful that the questions are sequential. Okay, it's that they are going from one. If you have the question starting from the first paragraph, number 2 will be either in the first or the second, and they go as you read. Okay, so you don't. If the answer is in paragraph 2, let's say the answer of question 3 in paragraph 2, then paragraph 4. Question 4 is not going you're not going to have the answer in paragraph 1. You'll have to go to the other paragraph. Okay, so they are the same as how you read. Okay, so again, don't worry. Text 3 is a bit longer, and of course, as you can see, it's a bit of a long text. So really, the ones you have to work on, text 3 and 4. Okay, so this is again our advice as teachers. So you have to try to finish text 1 and 2 as quickly as you can, and save more time for text 3 and 4. Okay. Again, how to tackle text 3 is that you try to know the main idea of the text. Sometimes you don't have a title or a heading, so you try to know the main idea through reading the topic sentence of each paragraph. You skim through the main idea, or in order to know the main idea, try to skim through the paragraphs. The very first sentence of each paragraph can really tell you what is the whole paragraph about. Okay, remember we said that, and we talked about this when we were doing writing. Okay, so it's very important to know that. Very quick technique in order to know the main idea of each paragraph. Okay, so the first paragraph, as you can see, this is the first paragraph really. In order to know its main idea, you just read the first sentence. This is the second paragraph. You just read the first sentence, topic sentence. Okay. Sometimes also you can read the last sentence because it's like summing up, conclusion. Okay. This is paragraph 3. Again, you read the first sentence and the last one to give you the main idea of the whole paragraph. And then after you skim through and you know the main idea of each paragraph, you go quickly to the questions. So number 1, which of the following people was with the author in Likuala? Again, Likuala is, as you can see, is a place, okay? So which of these people was with the author? Of course, the author is the person who told us the story, okay? So again, in order to very easily answer such a question, you go to the text and, as you can see, because we are looking for names, okay? So you go back to the text and try to look for names, okay? So we have here the first name, of course, very easy to know the names because they are written all in capital letters. So we have Jomo Gibbon here, okay? And if you read through this name, you go through the beginning of the sentence and the second sentence, you will know. So here, suddenly, our translator, Jomo Gibbon, burst in through the door shouting whatever, okay? So if we go back to the question, so which one was there? Sure, it's Jomo Gibbon. It's there. It's the first, as you can see, the first question, and it's very easy to answer it very quickly. Number 2, Amokli Mombam. Of course, we can't pronounce this. This isn't an English word, okay? Is what? And so, in order to find the correct answer here, you go back to the text. Again, this word, because it's not English, you can very easily spot it in the text. So I grabbed my camera and rushed outside. About 100 meters in front of me, I saw it standing at the edge of the lake, was this thing, or blocker of liver. So this is the name or the meaning of this word, which is blocker of rivers. And so this creature was the size of this and that, okay? So let's go back to the text. So this thing is what? Short in height with a long body, about the size of a small hippopotamus, smaller than a full-grown elephant, or similar in appearance to a giraffe. Of course, hippopotamus, which is in B, this is a kind of animal, somehow big animal which lives in rivers. It feeds on plants. So in order to know this, we have to go back to the text and read the description. Okay, so this creature was the size of a large hippopotamus. Be careful, you have to continue. Or small young elephant, and had a short fat body with a long neck. Okay, so let's go back to the question. This is the description. So which one is the correct answer? Very good. Smaller than a full-grown elephant. Number 3. What does this animal eat? So again, here we have eat. And very easily, we go back to the text. You continue reading or skimming through the first paragraph in order to know the kind of food it eats. Yeah. So, back to the question. Definitely it's B, plants. As you can see, until now, things are going smoothly. Number 4, why doesn't the author have any photographs showing them this animal? He did not want to scare the animal away. He did not have his camera with him. The pictures he took were not very clear. The creature disappeared too quickly. Again, here we are to look at the question. The author, of course, the person who wrote this. And here we are looking at photographs. You go back to the text, again in the first paragraph. And as you can see, he said here, as I slowly raised my camera, it saw me, and before I could take a picture, quickly sank below the surface of the lake. So be careful that the word picture is the same as photograph. Okay? So what did this animal do? Quickly sank below the surface of the lake. So we go back to the question. What did... No, sure. Very good. So that's why he or the author can't have any photographs for the creature, because the creature disappeared too quickly. Number 5, what does the word also mean? Okay, again, the word is there. You look for the word. And you try to read a sentence before it, a sentence after it. And you guess the meaning of the word. So, is it very dry? No. Is it very famous? No. Is it very large? Yes. Is it very colorful? No. They didn't mention anything about its color, or is it famous or not, or being dry or not. Okay, so it's very large. And as you can see, this word is an adjective. Number 6. Most people believe that dinosaurs have been extinct for over, and then we have number of years here, okay? And be careful that all these numbers of years are all mentioned really in the text. In order to answer this question, you have to know the meaning of the word extinct, okay? And definitely this word means that they aren't living anymore, okay? Because definitely we don't have dinosaurs whatsoever. So let's go back to the text, and we try to scan the text now for the numbers, okay? The number of years. So here my answer should be a number, okay? So what should I do is that I have to scan for the number. Here I go for the whole text. I have here 100 years. Okay, this is one number. Then I read, is it for over 100 years the local people have been drawing pictures? Is this my correct answer? Okay, is this my correct answer? No, it's not. Okay, so then I go scan again the text and go for this number, which is 65 million years. I start to read around this number, okay, and then I will find that, as we all know, dinosaurs have been extinct for over 65 million years. So now instead of reading the whole paragraph in order to find the correct answer, which is by the end of the paragraph, I just go and scan the passage or the paragraph for numbers, okay? When I find the number, because the number is very easy to recognize, it's very easy to see. You can definitely see 65, you can definitely see 100 without reading all these words. When you find the number, you just read around the number, okay? It can be one sentence before, one sentence after. Then you can easily spot the correct answer. So here, 65 million years, then it's extinct, which is my question. So here it says, most people believe that dinosaurs have been extinct for over 65 million years. So as you can see, this strategy in answering that question, it went like upside down, okay? I found the answer through the options. So I just looked at the options. I found that my answer should be one number, okay? So then through the numbers, I go back to the text, I scan for the number, and when I find the number, I just read and match my sentence, okay? Number 7, people think that this animal is an apatosaurus because they A. described that dinosaur to the local people, knew that it lived in this part of the world, had compared skeletons of these creatures, or D. saw the pictures of it that local people drew. So again, here people think that this animal is an apatosaurus because, okay? So again, I'll go back to the text. I try to find the word apatosaurus. It's very clear to find it because it's capital letter and it's a very long word. Okay, so it's very easy to just catch it while you are scanning. Yeah, so it's apatosaurus. You find it here, and then you find the word apatosaurus in another word in another place here, and then you start to read this part. Okay, so it's clear that this whatever animal is probably an apatosaurus. How? How do we know? We have to go a bit up. So we have here apatosaurus. I try to read the beginning of this sentence, which is here. From over 100 years, the local people have been drawing pictures and giving detailed descriptions of it. From these, it is clear that this animal is probably an apatosaurus. These here refer to what? Sure, to drawing pictures and detailed description. Okay, so here I just found the word apatosaurus. I had to start reading from the beginning of this sentence, which is there. Here I can find my answer in the middle. So let's go back to the question. So people think that this animal is an apatosaurus because they, sure, it's D, saw the pictures of it that local people drew. Number 8, who took the first photographs of this animal? So here again, my question or my question goes for who. I'm looking for a person, and I'm looking for the first photograph. Again, another strategy for doing this is I go for the names here. Okay, as we said before, it's very easy in the text to spot names. First of all, they are capital letters, and you find if you have double names or like this, you'll have them both in capital letters. So it's easy to spot them. And again, when you spot the name, you just read one sentence before it, one sentence after it, you'll find the correct answer. So let's have a look at this part. So this is the third paragraph, as I think you have noticed. We have how many names here? Just scan very quickly. You'll find that there is one name here, another name here, and you try to find, and there is here a Japanese expedition managed, whatever, but there is no name, okay? So the first name we have is Ivan Sanderson. So let's read through this name before one sentence in this where I found the name, and then I'll try to find out what's going on. So the sentence is there. The first recorded sighting by a Western scientist was made by a British zoologist called Ivan Sanderson in 1932. Does that mean that this is the first person who took a photograph? No, it's the first sighting, okay? The first person who can see, who saw this animal, really, okay? And then we move to another name, here one, this is another name. And then again, let's read. Other sightings include that by an American engineer named Herman Roosters in 1981. And by an expedition group from California in 1983. Does that mean that this person really took a photograph? No, so this person is off now. We move to another name. Marcelin Ajanga, a Congolese, because this is from Congo, okay? So biologist and member of the Californian group even managed to take a photograph. He managed to take a photograph, okay? Can you see this? Unfortunately, the pictures were not clear, so it's as if he didn't take any pictures. Yeah? Now we move on to few years later, in 1988, a Japanese expedition managed to film one of these creatures for 15 seconds. Okay? So, which one here is the person who took the first photograph? Be careful here, of course, as we had our differences. The first here, he managed to take a photograph, but it wasn't clear, so it's as if it's not there. And then the Japanese expedition is really to film, okay? And of course here, film is different from a photograph, yes, as some of you will say, but really, this is the one which the people can see the creature for 15 seconds. So let's go back to the question. So the correct answer is going to be so the answer is, as we said, is B. Very good. So this is the end of text 3. Again, as you said, try to apply the ways or the strategies we dealt with in order to find the correct answers from the text. As you said, you don't have, as you knew now, we don't have to read all the passage. You don't have to look thoroughly at all the passage. You don't have to read every word. You try to find the answer from the questions, okay? So now we are going to look at the last text, which is text 4. And text 4 is the longest text in the test, okay? Again, you try to apply the same techniques in order to know the main idea of each paragraph. You just very easily read the first sentence of the paragraph in order to know the main idea of the paragraph, and then you move on, okay? As you can see, this type of text is a scientific one, okay? It deals with electricity and power and things like that. Again, I knew that because I just read the first line of the first paragraph. And then you immediately go to questions. So we have here number 1. What causes phantom energy use? A, uses too many different kinds of using too many different kinds of appliances, leaving appliances plugged in when they are not being used, spending too much money on buying appliances to use at home, or switching appliances on and off frequently. Okay, so in order to know what causes, we are looking for the causes now of the use of the energy. Okay, so let's go back to the text. You try to, again, as we said, the number of questions go through the numbers of paragraphs, okay? So if you have question number 1, then you try to look for the answer in paragraph number 1. So the causes, as we said here, are what? You try, as we said, to skim through the paragraph. So we have here phantom energy is the energy that is still used even when appliances such as TVs, computers, and DVD players are not switched on. Even mobile phones chargers, when not charging, use this phantom energy. This wasted energy can add up in both amount and cost over time and is estimated to come to as much as $80 per person per year. So here, what is the correct answer? What are the causes? Sure, it's leaving appliances plugged in when they are not being used. And as we said, as it's in the mid of paragraph 1. Okay? Number 2, what does the word it in paragraph 2, line 5 refer to? As you can see, that's word it, or it's a pronoun, as I think you know by now. This is not the case if you have to leave it on because of company policy. So now it's not this sentence. You have to look in one sentence above. Okay? So some people do actually believe that it is wrong to shut down their computer when they leave the office at the end of the day. This is not the case. If you have to leave it on because of company policy, set it to go into sleep mode after 15 minutes. So definitely, it here refers to what? It has something in the computer, in the office, here computer, and then you have here, even if you don't know it's computer, you have here set it into sleep mode. So definitely it's what? Computer. Number 3, if you leave appliances plugged in for too long, they can. So it's again, if you leave them too long, okay, what happens? You just look here. Appliances can overheat if left plugged in as their cooling fan is constantly on. And the machine can be overstressed. So, in order to answer that question, we are going to look at here, as we said, their cooling fan is constantly on, and the machine can be overstressed. So, in order to answer that question, if you leave appliances plugged in for too long, they can, sure, get too hot. Number 4, according to the text, what is one difference between DVD and players and satellite boxes? Okay, so here according to the text, so it's not any of your own information, okay? It's according to the text. What is one difference between DVD players and satellite boxes? A. DVD players must be switched on at all times. DVD players are generally more expensive. Most satellite boxes use less energy than DVD players. Some satellite boxes should not be unplugged. So, let's go back to the text and try to find the correct answer. So here, the only types of appliances to be careful about unplugging are satellite TV dishes and boxes. Some of these devices are not designed to be turned off. You may even be made to pay extra by the satellite company for shutting down the equipment. So now, the only difference here is that satellite TV boxes, you should do what? You should really unplug them, okay? Because these devices are designed not to be turned off. Whereas if you have a DVD or a TV, really TV set or a DVD set, it's better to switch it off. So according to the text, what is one difference between DVD players and satellite boxes? Sure, is that some satellite boxes should not be unplugged. You shouldn't plug them, okay? Question after that, number 5. What advice does the author give? So again, in the advice, if the questions is, or you can find about 2 or 3 questions talking about advice. So what advice does the author give? Don't buy electrical appliances. B, use appliances that don't have cooling fans. Don't worry too much about phantom energy. And use one power strip for several appliances. So again here, the advice, you can figure out the advice, you can know the advice by what? You go for the conclusion, okay, and so you can get the advice, what really the author wants you to do, okay? So here, really the author advises us to use one power strip for several appliances, okay? And it's there mentioned in the same part, yeah? Number 6, what does the word adverse mean? In order to know the meaning of this word, you have to go back to the text, okay? And here, as you can see, this is his advice to help yourself and the world that we live in. Follow this practical tip. This is the word tip, advice. Plug several things into one power strip. So this is really his advice. Plug several tips into one power strip. And again, as you can see in the text, they can use a word, and in the question, he can give you, or they can ask you using the synonym, the meaning of the word, okay? So you try to know these words, and be careful that the meanings of the words and its meaning, they are very famous. You know them. Tip and advice, we always use that in the class. And then the other question here, the meaning of the word adverse. So again, in order to know this, the meaning, you have to read the sentence. You will be saving yourself hundreds of dollars spent on phantom energy over the course of a lifetime, and will also be reducing the adverse effects we humans are having on the world we live in. Okay? So reducing, it means coming down. So if something is coming down, or we would like to reduce it or to decrease it, then it is something which is not good, okay? Adverse effects. So of course here adverse can mean what? Negative. So it's the negative effects of the loss of this power phantom, okay? Or phantom power. Number 7, which of these appliances is not mentioned in the text? A, satellite TV box, B, air conditioner, C, mobile phone charger, and D, television. Again, this type of question is very easy. You just go quickly, scan the passage, and see the appliances which are mentioned. And the one which is not mentioned, then this will be my correct answer. Of course, he mentioned satellite TV box in paragraph 2. He mentioned mobile phone charger in paragraph 1. And again, television is mentioned in paragraph 1. So the only appliance which is not mentioned is the air conditioner. Okay? And be careful with the question here. Not mentioned. Okay? Not. Because some students can just read which is mentioned and they forget the word not. And so they can choose one of the wrong answers. Okay? Number 8. What is the author's purpose in writing this text? A, to criticize people for saving money, to encourage people to use more energy, to show people how to spend more money, or to educate people on how to save energy. So, what is the author's purpose in writing this text? As we said before, always the purpose comes at the end of the passage, at the end of the text. You always, for the purpose or for the reason or for the advice, go for the conclusion, okay? Most of the time. This is again another advice or another tip which I'd like to tell you now. So the purpose of the author is definitely to educate people on how to save energy. So really the purpose of the author is to educate people on how to save energy. And this is the last question we are going to look at. As you can see, all the texts, some of the text got 7 questions, text 1 got 7 questions, text 2, 5 questions, text 3, 8 questions, and text 4, 8 questions. Really, they aren't much, but all in all, there are 30 questions, which really needs you to try as fast as you can to answer them all in 1 hour, okay, which is the time allotted for the reading part in the exam, okay. As we mentioned before, text 1 and text 2, you can do them very quickly, and you don't have to take more time or much time on these 2 texts, because really the ones you have to look carefully at is text 3 and text 4. As we saw before, you don't have to read every single word, you don't have to understand every single word. Things are easy and manageable if you just do these strategies. You try to read the text through the questions, okay? First you have to skim through the text in order to know the main idea of each paragraph. And we said skim through the text by just reading the first sentence or the topic sentence of each paragraph. Then things will be very easy, okay? And then I think we talked about the last part of the exam, which is the writing. We are not going to talk about it today because of the time. So as you know, writing is very easy. Try to write neat. Try to write your essay in a neat, readable handwriting, so things would be easy. Read, understand well, and try to organize your thoughts. I really wish you good luck. I hope that our lessons benefited you, and you found them useful. Really good luck after a couple of weeks when you are going to sit for your CPA.
By this, we come to the end of our lesson today. I hope that you have enjoyed it, and please try to apply all the strategies and techniques we talked about all through our lesson today and the previous one. Please try to adjust your time and manage your time all through the exam timing, and try to use all the allotted time. Which I do really wish you best of luck, and hope that all of you get high marks during this exam, which is coming after a couple of weeks. Good luck.